there's a home run race a brewing, and it's between the two kings of New York, Aaron Judge and Pedro Alonso. Right now, Pedro Alonso leading the big leagues with 20 bombs, and Aaron Judge leads the American League with 18 homers. I did some quick math here. It's May 31st, and Aaron Judge is on pace to hit 63 home runs, which would be one more home run than last year. Since the start of last season, he's hit 80 home runs. The next closest, obviously, Pete Alonso with 60. So to factor that in, Pete Alonso has had to lead the big leagues in home runs this year just to keep the deficit to 20. Now, Aaron Judge did miss those 10 games with the hip injury. So that makes it even more impressive, really. Like he was on the injured list and he's still two back of Pete Alonso. I thought when we had the conversation before the season, I think we were all kind of on the same page that whatever it was, 44 and a half homers for Judge felt a little low. But I, admittedly, even as the biggest Aaron Judge fan going, even I wouldn't have sat there and told you, yeah, he's gonna go for 60 plus again. And I think at this point, with tomorrow being June 1st and it's still on the table, are we going to sit here and acknowledge that we could see not one, but two for the first time since Sosa McGuire? We could see two guys going for 60 again. Is that possible?
Both guys?
So who do you think is going to fall off? Alonso? I mean, Alonso has what, a 54 homer season his rookie year? He hit 40 last year. Mm-hmm. I mean, it would be different if it was Judge and like Cedric Mullins, like someone that you wouldn't expect to have 20 home runs right now. I'd be like, yeah, all right. Like I can see Judge going the distance. But since Pedro Alonso came into the league in 2019, he's out homered the entire big leagues. So you have a guy that's already hit 60 versus a guy who's out homered the league since he debuted. Like I mean, these are the if it were to happen, these are the two guys that it would happen with.
All right. Well, here's my thought on this, and we all know how many pitchers Joe D faced during the streak, right? 56 game hitting streak. He faced 54 total pitchers. All right.
Did you just say we all knew that? Who the fuck here knew that? No one.
You guys didn't know that?
No. What the fuck?
Oh. I felt like that was something you would know.
We all know Joe DiMaggio's mother's maiden name. That being said, go ahead.
Carry on. Those are guys in two lineups who will probably be knocking on the door of bonus baseball come October. So my only concern for their continued streak, their continued run, is how they start to get pitched as we get deeper into the season and it becomes more and more pivotal to win these games for the teams that they are facing at the moment, when they realize where their playoff mortality lies. And you're facing Pete Alonso over the weekend, and you're probably telling everybody that's going to throw a baseball for you, we don't want to let this fucking guy beat us, okay?
How did that work out last year for Judge, though? They still pitched to him.
That's easy. Well, that's why I'm saying if you're talking about both of these guys, like just the odds of two dudes doing that is where, you know what I mean? That's where I'm coming from in this initial. I don't know about two guys, because now you're asking two guys to capitalize on moments like that over the course of a month and a half, 2 months. And I liken that to asking a bullpen to perform for 12 outs at a time. Like you have to have 3-4 guys on point over the course of a night to have a successful bullpen outing like that for that to work. So you're going to have two of these guys on point over a month and a half of where they're probably going to be pitched a little differently than they would, say, at the early portion of the season. And if that becomes the case, that is one of the reasons why I would not see both guys making that push, just because we're now needing two of these guys to be just unconscious in the most pivotal time of the season. Not saying it can't happen, just saying that's why.
No, you said it can't happen. You said it can't happen. Joe, do you think that there's a chance Pete Alonso and Aaron Judge at the end of the season both have 60-plus homers?
Well, tell me this. Would you say where Alonso is right now, he's done better than you expected or outperformed what you'd expect Pete Alonso 1-2 months into the season?
I would say he's reminding us of what he's capable of. Like, I feel like because of last year and the Yankees being the bigger team than the Mets, like everyone just focuses on Judge, but people forget since Alonso's been in the league, no one has hit more home runs than him. Like, he is a home run guy. He's hitting what, fucking 238 right now? It's not like he's tearing the cover off the ball and he's just performing at this unsustainable level. Like, the power is sustainable. If he were hitting 330 or something, I'm like, yeah, like that's definitely going to come down. Like, he's not a 330 hitter, but it's almost that he hasn't, like, he's got the 20 homers, but I think that he's underperformed because he's not a 230 hitter either. So yeah, I think, I think that it's something where some people are surprised. I'm not, but I feel like if you are surprised, you shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm. Well, if he's underperforming, then he's definitely going to be there. They're both on pace for 59 home runs right now.
Right. I mean, they've each hit 20 plus homers through a third of the season. And if we're just doing super basic napkin math, that has them at roughly 60 homers at the end of the year. So to Joey's point, if you think Pete Alonso right now might be outperforming projections, then you probably don't see Pete Alonso at the end of the year with 60. He will still definitely have more than Roger Maris Jr., but he might not have 60.
Zips has Alonso hitting 28 more home runs this year and finishing with 48 homers. That same projection system has Judge hitting 30 home runs over the remainder of the season and finishing with 48 home runs. So they actually have Zips has them tied at the end of the year with 48. Those are usually a little bit conservative, but I do think that speaks to, because the other thing is that one injury wipes away the chance, right? Yep. So Judge gets injured again, misses 2 or 3 weeks, 60 home runs is gone. Alonso gets injured, misses 2 or 3 weeks, 60 home runs is gone. I'm torn. I feel like I like Judge's chances better just because he's a much, much better hitter overall, a much better baseball player, but he's also more likely to take the walk than Pete Alonso is. So I go back and forth on who is more likely to actually get to 60. But I would take Judge. He's done it. He's the only one of the two who has actually done it. So I would,
And the only counter to that, Jay, would be for Pete Alonso and this is just kind of cherry picking the stat that Jared highlighted, which was he's not a 238 hitter. Okay, well, what's he for his career? 250, 260 hitter? So
yeah, that's about what I would have guessed.
Does the balls that he runs into, do those become homers if he's hitting at a 250 clip, 260 clip? I just don't know if it's still enough to put him over the wall.